We're going to start in a comfortable seated position on our mat with our legs crossed, palms facing upwards on our knees. Deep inhale, bringing our head onto our right shoulder, letting it fall forward onto our chest, onto our left shoulder, and back. Repeating this movement, following our breath. When we're ready, we can switch sides, gently letting our head roll as we take deep inhales and deep exhales. Bringing our attention into the present moment. We're going to come onto all fours into tabletop position. Inhale. Exhale, rounding our back, bringing our belly button to our spine, and inhale, dropping the back and the belly, coming into cow. Following this pattern with our breath, can rock back and forth gently. Really stretching out here, bringing intention into the posture and lifting our hips up into downward facing dog. Bending our knees, we can walk out our dog, making sure to bring our hips up into the sky. Bring our shoulder blades together. Breathing long through our spine. And when you're ready, if it feels comfortable, you can drop your heels to the mat. Exhale, come forward. Knees, chest, chin, keeping our elbows tucked in towards our sides. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lifting the right leg up and bringing it forward in between our hands. Into runner's lunge. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, arms above your head, keeping your knee and your ankle in a 90-degree angle. Exhale, your arms back, slight back bend. Grasp your hands and come forward. Stretching out your back, bringing your wrists just a little bit more forward. Inhale back up. Arms above your head and hands to heart center. Exhale, palms back on the mat. Coming into low lunge. Keeping your hips square, place your hands on your lower back and go into a slight back bend. Bring your hands onto the mat and come into a half split, pushing your hips back, flexing your front foot, and back into low lunge. Really pushing your hips forward. Exhale, back into half splits. Front foot flex, and back into low lunge, following your breath here. Exhale back, and inhale, come forward. Making sure to keep your hips squared as you move between these two postures. Bring your foot back into downward facing dog, stretching out your back. You can walk out your dog. Bring your hips up into the sky. Bring your left foot up and forward in between your hands, coming into runner's lunge. Come up, bring your palms together at heart center. Inhale your arms above your head. Clasp your hands and bring your chest forward. Feeling that stretch in your back. When you're ready, come back up. Release your hands, bring them above your head together, back to heart center. Bring your hands back onto the mat. Drop your right knee, low lunge, hands to your lower back, slight back bend here. Hands to the mat and come into your half split, making sure to keep your front foot engaged, toes pointing towards your knee, hips squared. Again, fall into a rhythm with your breath here, moving at your own pace. Paying attention to where you feel the stretch, where the tension is in your body. Deep breaths. Every time trying to go just a little bit deeper. Bring your left foot back into downward facing dog. Right foot up into the sky and bring it in front into pigeon. If you want a deeper stretch, move your ankle away from your hips, making sure to keep your hips squared here, not to fall over onto your right hip. Bring your forehead onto the mat, extend your hands in front of you. Take a couple deep breaths here, making sure to keep your hips squared. You can adjust your foot to whatever position feels best for you, either closer to your hips or further away. When you're ready, you can walk your hands back up. Here we can bend our back foot if this feels comfortable. Bringing your knee towards your back. If you feel comfortable here, you can come into king pigeon. Bringing your toes to your head. Wherever you are today is perfectly fine. Feeling the stretch in your hamstrings and your back. You can release your leg and lift yourself back into downward facing dog. Rest your left foot on your right ankle, stretching out your right leg. Lift your left leg up into the sky and bring it forward. Gently walk your hands forward into resting pigeon. Maybe this side feels easier than the other. Maybe it feels a little harder. focusing on where you feel the stretch, making sure to keep your hips square, your weight even, taking deep breaths, letting yourself sink into the posture. One more deep breath, and when you're ready, you can gently begin to walk your hands up. Bend your back leg, stretching out your hamstrings. Whatever variation here feels best for you is perfectly fine. If you feel up for it today, come into King Pigeon, bringing your foot towards your head, stretching out your back and your hamstrings. Whenever you're ready, release your back foot and lift yourself back into downward facing dog. Stretching out your left leg by bringing your right foot to your left ankle. Walk or jump your feet to the front of the mat. Come into forward fold. You can either bring your hands to your calf, or you can bring your hands under your feet or hold on to your big toe, whatever feels best here. You can bend one knee and then the other, feeling the tension in your extended leg. Keeping your knees soft, come into flat back, halfway up, and exhale back down. Either keeping your hands on your shins or the mat, whatever feels best. When you're ready, gently roll your spine up, vertebrae by vertebrae, letting your head come up last. Lift your arms above your head, slight back bend. Swan dive down. Walk or jump your feet to the back of the mat. Come into downward facing dog. Walk out the dog. Bring your right leg up to the sky. Drop your knee behind you. Coming into a three-legged dog. And bring your right leg forward. Rotate your back heel so that it's parallel with the mat and lift yourself up into Warrior 2, keeping your knee and ankle at a 90-degree angle, looking out over your fingertips, coming into Exalted Warrior. Bring your elbow onto your knee, coming into extended side angle pose. Extending your front leg, bringing your hand to the mat, triangle. Inhale back up and switch sides. Come into Warrior 2, looking out over your front fingertips. Come back into Exalted Warrior, stretching out your side. And come forward into Extended Side Angle. And when you're ready, extend your front leg, come into triangle. Inhale back up, cartwheel your arms to the mat, and walk your foot back into downward facing dog. When you're ready, bring your left foot in between your hands and come back into Warrior Two, looking out over your left fingertips. Taking deep breaths, sinking a little bit lower. Bring your right hand to your calf, exalted or reverse warrior. Making sure to engage your feet. Come back into Warrior Two. Bring your left elbow to your knee. Come into extended side angle. Back into Warrior Two. Extend your front leg. Drop your left hand onto the mat. Come into triangle. Looking up at your right fingers. Inhale back up. Bring your feet parallel to each other and heel toe them a little bit closer together. Pointing your toes out at a 45-degree angle, bend your knees and come into goddess pose. Bringing your shoulder blades together, elbows bent, fingers active, and release. Exhale, sit back down into goddess pose, dropping your hips just a little bit lower. Inhale, release. Exhale into goddess pose. Bring your elbows a little bit back, sink a little bit lower, and release. Last time. See if you can go just a little bit lower. Bring your shoulder blades a little bit closer together. You can shift your weight side to side and release. Come forward, coming into side lunge, bringing your palms together, and walk yourself over to the other side, keeping both feet engaged. Take deep breaths, feeling the stretch. Walk your hands forward. And walk them over to your left foot. Trying to keep your back from rounding. Taking deep breaths, walking back to your right foot, trying to keep your back straight. Walk back to center. Bring your hands beneath you, fingertips facing away from your face. With each exhale, seeing if you can sink a little bit deeper into this posture. Walk your hands back in front of you. Come back into downward facing dog. Lift your right leg. Bring it in between your hands. Warrior 2. Seeing if you can sink a little bit deeper. Reverse warrior, bringing your hand onto your calf, feeling that stretch along your side. Warrior 2. Bring your right elbow to your right knee, extended side angle, stretch your left arm. Come back into Warrior 2 and drop down into triangle, extending your right leg, looking out over your left fingertips. Bring both hands to the mat and come back into downward facing dog. Come down into child's pose, bringing your knees to the edges of the mat, keeping your feet together, bringing your forehead to the mat. Coming back to your breath. When you're ready, come back into downward facing dog. Walk or jump your feet to the front of the mat. Come into forward fold, bringing your hands to your calf, and slowly begin to roll yourself up into standing. Face your palms forward, engage your fingers, come into mountain. Keeping your shoulders down. Your legs are engaged. Your weight is in every single toe. Taking deep breaths. Feeling yourself grounded into the mat. Inhale your arms up. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale your arms up and swan dive down. Exhale. Bring your hands to your feet. Flat back, halfway up. Inhale and exhale. Walk or jump your feet to the back of the mat. Knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Walking out your feet. Coming down into child's pose once more, bringing your knees to the edges of the mat, feet together. Taking deep breaths, focusing our mind on how we are currently feeling, how our body is feeling. When we're ready, we can come back up. Coming into puppy pose. Bringing our chest and chin to the mat. Keeping our hips above our knees. When you're ready, you can sit back on our heels. Taking a couple deep breaths. When we're ready, we can bring our hands to our lower back and come into a slight back bend, or come all the way into camel pose. Bringing our hands to our heels. When you're ready, bring your hands to your lower back and help yourself come up. Sitting down onto the mat, bringing your feet in front of you, keeping your knees bent. Coming into a nice twist, bringing your left elbow to right knee, and your right arm goes behind you, fingertips facing away from your body. Every exhale, leaning a little bit deeper in this twist, seeing if you can take your breaths into your stomach. Come back to center and switch sides. Again, taking deep inhales and exhales into your stomach, giving yourself a little massage, looking out over your left shoulder. When you're ready, stretch out your feet in front of you, walk your fingertips towards your feet, whether your hands are on your shins or on your toes, doesn't matter. Just make sure not to round your spine here. Bring the bottoms of your feet together. Hold them with your hands and push your feet apart from each other, opening them like a book. Using your elbows to push your knees a little bit closer to the mat, and using your body weight to lean forward and stretch your legs. Come back to center, bring your hands to your knees, give yourself a little twist, and when you're ready, exhale your stomach towards your spine, bringing your body back. Inhale, chest forward, making a couple circles each way with your torso, following your breath. When you exhale, bring your feet to opposite sides of the mat. Bring your left hand to your left foot. Extend your right hand, keeping your shoulders stacked, keeping your right shoulder blade behind you. When you're ready, bring your right hand also towards your foot. Walk your hands forward in between your legs, keeping your feet active, toes pointing towards your knees. Walk your hands over to the other side, bringing your left arm behind you this time, pushing your shoulder blade away, keeping your chest open. And when you're ready, bring that arm to your foot as well, folding your torso over your right leg. Come back to center, left hand to left foot, right hand to right foot. And when you're ready, bring your feet back together and lay down on the mat. Fold your knees and come into bridge, bringing your hips up to the sky, keeping your knees over your ankles, keeping your shoulders grounded. If you feel comfortable here, you can stay in this posture. And if it feels right for you today, you can come into full wheel. Keeping your knees over your ankles, pushing your shoulders over your wrists. Taking deep breaths. When you're ready, gently come back down. Wherever you are, bring your hips back onto the mat. Bring your right foot to your left knee. Stack your hips. Extend your arms to a T position and look out over your left fingertips, making sure to keep both shoulders on the ground. If it feels comfortable, you can put your right hand on your left knee to give yourself an added twist. To give yourself an added stretch. Come back to center. Windshield wiper your knees from side to side and switch, bringing your right ankle onto your left knee. Using your left hand on your right knee to go a little bit deeper into the twist. Making sure to keep both shoulder blades on the ground. Come back to center. Extend your feet. Bring your feet to the mat, hands to the mat, palms facing upwards, letting your feet fall away from each other, letting go of your breath.